Podcast, an entrepreneur's podcast. A podcast for entrepreneurs. Today is episode 8, and today is going to be a good one. Today is going to be entrepreneurs versus employees. And you might notice my backdrop is a little different. This isn't the first time that you notice my background changes. As you guys know, I'm an entrepreneur. So oftentimes I'm in different cities, I'm in hotels, I'm in a hotel right now. And this is a first. But I'll get to that in a second. I got something for you. So first, we want to thank everybody as always for tuning in. And we want to shout out our sponsor, our main sponsor, Howard's Blend. Go ahead and get yourself some of that pre-workout and go ahead and get some of that plant-based protein. I drink it all the time. It's delicious. It mixes well. It's good for pancakes and different things like that. So go check out Howard's Blend. Next up, check out my man Clarity. Get his merch. Check him out. Sydney Claire. Check out what he's doing. Last but not least, we're almost there. By the time I get home, by the time you see this, I'm actually going to have my first physical copy, my sample of Fear, Forget Everything and Reset, the second edition. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. You're waiting on it. Trust me, I was waiting on it too, but I felt like I rushed the first book, so I wanted to take my time with the second edition. There's a lot of new features, there's updates and all sorts of things. So Fear, second edition, is almost ready for pre-order. As soon as I flip through that book and approve it, you guys can go ahead and get your hands on a copy of the paperback version of the book. And like always, proceeds from the book Fear goes to the Mary Kemp Foundation. So shout out to the Mary Kemp Foundation. Last night, they actually dropped their first newsletter. So if you aren't a subscriber on the Mary Kemp website, it's marykempfoundation.org. Check them out if you want to donate money. 100% of the money you donate goes to the causes that we're supporting. It's all education-based, STEM, sports, extracurricular activities such as like chess and those types of things, after-school programs, school supplies, anything, college applications, anything that we can do to keep educating our people. We don't want money to be the reason that children or even adults for that matter can't get the next level of education that they're trying to pursue. We're trying to even the playing field. So with that being said, I said today was a one-off. It's the first time ever. This is the first time you're gonna watch a pre-recorded video. Why? Because at 7 o'clock East Coast time, I may be in a restaurant or I may not be in a restaurant. Who knows? We'll see. But after this video, I'm gonna be live, whether I'm driving, whether I'm walking in the streets of Manhattan, whether I'm doing whatever it is, because we're gonna be cutting it very close. If you've seen our last episode, or rather episode 6, I reported live from an airport. That's one of the fun things about being an entrepreneur. You know, my day's not gonna stop, but as an entrepreneur, as a business person, this is my responsibility. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that I'm holding up my end of the bargain. So it's that level of discipline that helps entrepreneurs like myself maintain and continue to add on to their successes, because you know, business does have to come first. That's just what it is. So with that being said, we're gonna post the poll results and you guys should see those. Normally I do a breakdown, but from what I saw so far, most people in the 90s said that they want to be entrepreneurs. Now, I don't know if the people who are voting necessarily are only entrepreneurs, but it's a want, right? So if you want to be an entrepreneur and you have to be an employee for right now, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to set up your game plan and make sure you're doing the right things so that you can become self-sufficient and basically live out your dream. So with that being said, the poll numbers should be up by now. You guys could break those down. And I want to ask you a question. I want to take a live survey of the audience. Are you guys entrepreneurs? Are you a mixture? Are you still working and then you're working on your exit strategy? Or are you content with your job, with your career, with your lifestyle as it is now? So you guys go ahead and drop some comments. And while we're waiting for those answers to come in, we're going to pay some bills. We're gonna let you watch this commercial by Howard's Blend. Hey, welcome everybody. Joining us live from the Big Apple. We're on Times Square. Live band playing. We're at the restaurant. But I didn't miss the show. And I didn't postpone the show. And I'm always going to be on time. So I want to shout out Nova for producing, making sure everything got off without a hitch. I really didn't know where I was going to be. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. I don't know what the reception is like. But we're going to jump right into this because I'm obviously out and about right now. So without further ado, we're going to jump right in. Shout out to my brother Carl Webb. Shout out to everybody who's tuning into this. Everybody who's going to see this later. This is really what an entrepreneur's life is like. Like, I'm out right now eating dinner. Still had to take care of business. And still enjoy my day. So with that being said, today we got entrepreneurs versus employees. So I'm doing this off my phone, so I apologize if I don't see everything real time. But let's start. Employees. Minimum wage federally is still $7.25. That really hasn't changed since 2009. But let's see what it looks like. Let's see what our next slide looks like. This is a map. So the orange and the darker colors are the higher wages. Cali, New York, New Jersey are around $14, $15 an hour. Places like Texas and other places, still $7 an hour. So that's something that, we could discuss. Let's see what the next slide looks like. So we're going to talk about the Great Resignation. The Great Resignation is everybody who left their jobs during COVID. During COVID, there were several reasons why people left. The number one reason was people felt disrespected, underappreciated, overworked. I think that's something that happens all the time, but COVID really brought that out. A couple of other reasons were benefits, or lack of benefits, childcare, lack of childcare. The schools were closed for COVID. So 4.4 million people left the job market during, the initial COVID season. Let's see what we got next. All right. So now this is just, a couple of more of those reasons. And you can see people felt disrespected. They weren't happy with the rate of pay. And we're going to keep it moving. So with that being said, you have a chart. So all of these links are going to be in the bio. And you can see the percentages and the breakdowns and whatnot. I still wanted to make sure we gave you enough information to go back and research some of this as I put together this presentation for you. So we're just going to go to the next slide. I hit on a couple of those. And then we're going to also find that there was a spike. So when the mass resignation took place, 4.4 million people resigned from their jobs or took payouts or whatnot, but they left their jobs and their careers. And the highest formation ever for CEOs, or rather for LLCs, the highest year ever was 2021. There were 4.4 million new companies created in the same year. So imagine that correlation. And if you go back 10 years, that was double what was the norm. Normally it's about 2 million a year, but during the Great Resignation, 4.4 million LLCs were formed. So I wonder if there's a correlation that you guys all see. So now let's move forward to the next slide. All right, so now I want you guys to take a look at this, and I brought this up before. There's 10 years there wasn't really a raise in minimum wage. And that's something we could talk about, in future, or maybe we'll touch on this later in another podcast. So with that being said, it's going to be really hard for me to take questions and talk to everybody live, but I just wanted to show up. I wanted to do my presentation. We're out here celebrating some birthdays right now. So, it's actually dessert time. I can show you a few of them, I guess. But, check the stories, check the live. You can see what we had going on today. And we're going to wrap up over here. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And with that being said, I know this is a quick one. But again, shout out to Howard's Blend. Shout out to Clarity get the new book for you that's coming out soon. I have some more information for you, and this is really what it's like. So, but I'll tell you what, I rather take a 5 minute break during dinner than to have to ask somebody permission for a day off, than to have to ask permission to go to the bathroom because I was a teacher. We couldn't leave the classroom. Have to ask permission to do certain things or have to be somewhere when I really didn't want to be. So I wouldn't trade this for the world. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And with that being said, I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.